It's now my very great privilege to introduce our Convocation keynote speaker. When Sheridan first opens its doors in 1967, a young student named Peter Watson was waiting. Peter was in the right time at the right place, and as Peter said at our Business Awards, Dean Mercer, just a few days ago, that he acknowledged the wonderful, caring, and unbelievably committed faculty members who were there now, and some of who are still today, including Brian Lyons and Dave Tinker. Where are you? Wave. There they are. Those are Peter's words, but I echo them as well. Peter entered Sheridan not as a strong student, but 2 years later, he graduated first in his class with high honors. He went on to earn a business administration degree from Laurier University, followed by an MBA from the Richard Ivey School of Business at the University of Western Ontario. Peter's initial success included working in the investment division at Royal LePage and then as vice president of Equion Securities. He founded Peter Watson Investments in 1991, an Oakville-based financial planning firm providing comprehensive wealth management for affluent families. Peter's been voted the best financial planner in Oakville 9 times by the Oakville Beavers Reader Selection Awards, and he received the Canadian Association of Financial Planners Multimedia Award in 1997. Peter's wealth management research has been featured in the National Post, and he's authored over 500 articles. Peter is currently a member of Sheridan's campaign cabinet, which provides leadership to the Student Capital fundraising campaign. Peter Watson was inducted into our Sheridan School of Business Hall of Fame on May 29th of this year. Please join me in a warm Sheridan welcome back for Peter Watson.
Well, good morning, and to those of you in the clouds, top of the morning to you. I'm sure you've been looking forward to today for a long time, and I don't blame you. So what can we do to honor this special event? So I've come up with an idea, a top 10 list. So here we go, the Peter Watson top 10 list of realizations why you are no longer a college student. Point number 10, you wake up at 6 a.m. instead of going to bed. You have graduated from being a tax write-off, tax deduction, to a tax payer. Number 8, golf is beginning to seem a little less silly. Number 7, your parents charge you rent. You feed your dog science diet instead of Taco Bell. You hear your favorite song on the elevator at work. You have to pay your own credit card bill. This is my favorite, number 3. Your Sheridan sweatshirt is casual instead of dress up. Regrettably, naps are no longer available between the hours of noon and 6 p.m. And the number 1 realization that you are no longer college students. The 4 food groups no longer consist of beer, pizza, chips, and cereal. Well, what an honor it is to be here today to help congratulate the graduating business students. Thank you for allowing me to share this special time with you. There are a number of key events that occur during a lifetime, and graduation is certainly one of them. You have worked hard, had success, and today we all salute you. Now we have something in common. We're both Sheridan College graduates. 41 years ago, as was mentioned, back in 1967, I entered the School of Business as a first-year student. Had no idea what lay ahead, but I did know 2 things. I was curious about business, and I was motivated to learn what I could. Now, I had the opportunity to have lunch with your dean last year, and Gerard Mercer commented that I had taken a lot of risk by entering Sheridan in its initial year. And I thought about that, and I think I disagree. I think it was Sheridan that took the risk in accepting me. You see, after I had finished grade 12, you could have classified me as an average student. Very skilled when it came to sports. But for the academic side, not quite as successful. So fortunately, when Sheridan opened its doors, I was in the right place at the right time. I studied hard for long hours, and with the caring help from talented and dedicated faculty, slowly I became a good student. And then 2 years later, after having the first academic success of my life and feeling absolutely as proud as you can imagine, I was sitting exactly in the same position that you are today, graduating from Sheridan with a whole life ahead of me. Looking back, what did Sheridan mean to me? Pretty well everything. As a friend said, it was my launching pad. I cannot imagine how anyone can truly understand how thankful I am for spending 2 years at this fine college. It did prove to be a turning point in my life. So let's talk about you, the Sheridan Business Class of 2008. If I was sitting in your place, what would I want to hear from someone that had gone before and had years of experience? With that in mind, I have put together 6 thoughts that I would like to share with you. The first one, and clearly the one to start with, is to say thank you. Yes, this is your special day, but I encourage you to thank and recognize your supporting cast. You will know who has been most important for you, but I'm sure for many it will be your parents. All those years of encouragement and support in so many ways. This day, in part, belongs to them. And then there are your dedicated teachers, skilled administrators, and Sheridan's senior leaders, many of whom are here today. Thank them all. It has truly been a team effort. Second, become an active alumni. Now, for the lucky ones, the truly fortunate, Sheridan has now become part of your DNA. Become an active alumni. Stay in touch with your Sheridan community. Teachers will be interested in you returning to the classroom to share your experience with the students. There are volunteer positions and committees that can benefit from your expertise. Yes, this is a good time to thank Sheridan and pay it back, but it's an important opportunity to enhance your own life by staying connected with such a strong institution and an institution that has made so much difference in your life. Third, commit to lifelong learning. For some, the career you will have in 10 years is in an industry that does not yet exist, or you'll be using technology that is not currently available. The world is spinning fairly quickly these days, and it's near impossible to maintain the status quo. You will either be advancing or declining. My strong recommendation is to commit to lifelong learning. Always try and improve yourself with ongoing training. Tiger Woods is the best golfer in the world, and he still takes lessons. Think not of Sheridan as your academic finish line. Sheridan is the starting point of your career, and because it is such a strong foundation, I encourage you to build upon it. Fourth, find your sweet spot and then follow your passion. So let's talk sports for a second. Have you ever played tennis and you don't quite hit the ball right in the middle of the racket and it turns out to be, at best, an average shot? And then you hit it dead center and the ball just flies off the strings. Well, this can happen in golf as well. Occasionally, and I stress occasionally, the ball just explodes off of the club. Well, that's what I call your sweet spot. Did you notice over the last few years that some subjects were just easier for you? Some assignments were a breeze and you did better at them? In a study group, did you contribute good, valuable content, or were you more the organizer or the leader of that group? What works for you is often different than what works for others. That's what makes the world so interesting. The absolute key for each and every one of us is to identify what we do well. The second part of the equation is to follow our passion. What do you love? What keeps you up at night? For example, if you're particularly good in finance and accounting, that's a start. But if your passion, your interest, your hobby is entertainment, try and get a position in the financial area of an entertainment firm. If you are good at selling, but love boating, why not get a career selling goods, products or services to marinas? Your future happiness and success will be to a large part determined by how well you can combine the things that you excel at with the things that you are passionate about. This is your critical formula. This will be your magic. Point number 5, let's talk a little bit about you making mistakes. Mistakes do happen, and no matter how hard we try to be error-free, I think we're all going to mess up occasionally. A mistake, I think, can act as a catalyst within a relationship and can change that relationship rather quickly, usually for the worst, but not always. Now, human nature often puts us on the defensive. It was not my fault, your instructions weren't clear, or you're just too picky. Now, frustration levels can get to an instant boiling point, and any goodwill that was built into your relationship suddenly vanishes. Alternatively, you can take the high road. Admit your mistake, inject your leadership to correct the problem. This is your time in the spotlight, and if you perform well, you can get leverage from that error to propel your relationship to a much higher level than you've had before. Always be on the lookout for a mistake and even welcome one when it does occur. Now it is your time to shine. Never miss the opportunity to be proactive and remedy the situation to the best of your ability. That, in part, will define who you are. And point number 6, my final point, is go for it. Now, there'll be many times in your life that you're not sure about things. What should you do? Well, welcome to the human race. That's normal. Normal for you and normal for others. Procrastination is not the solution. Consider the facts, make up your mind, and then just go for it. Has anyone ever seen the divers in Acapulco? They have to climb the cliff and then stand on the ledge high above the ocean below. Before they dive, they look down and see the ocean swell up and have deep, safe water to land in. And then the swells disappear, and the jagged rocks of the ocean floor are visible. Because of the time they spend in flight before they reach the water, the divers have to push off from the safety of the ledge when the rocks are exposed. So how is that so different than you? There will be times in your life when you're doing something new, something challenging, getting your first job, changing career, starting your own business, whatever the case may be. Will you be apprehensive, even afraid? Absolutely. Do you think the cliff divers in Acapulco are afraid? Absolutely. What you have in common is you both push off from the safety of your current position. You will see the dangers ahead, but as the divers are trained and able, so are you, and soon you'll have the diploma to prove it. Do not sit and let life pass you by. This is not a dress rehearsal. Push off from the safety of the ledge and just go for it. In conclusion, the most important thing that I can tell you today is believe in yourself. Know your strengths. Continue to grow. Follow your passion. And I promise you, you will achieve meaningful, lifelong success in whatever you choose. Again, thank you for allowing me to share your special day. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2008. Now go out into the world, have some fun, and knock their socks off. Good luck.
Peter, thank you very much for coming today and for sharing your personal story and for what are really inspirational words. And I know I was watching the faces and I know that they went straight to the hearts of all of the graduates here today. Thank you so much. On their behalf and on behalf of all of us at Sheridan, we'd like to present you with this gift that was handcrafted by one of our glass graduates, Carol Nesbitt.
Great. Well, thank you very much. Thank you.